Southampton are back in the Premier League. The Saints took down Leeds United to win the richest game in world football and are straight back up. Will Southampton survive? Today, I'll be taking over at St Mary's for the third and final realistic rebuild of the promoted Premier League clubs. Southampton, you're up. So here is the default starting 11 we have been given as we take over down the south of England. As always, I have recalled and sent all the players back to their respective clubs after their loans. Southampton have players like Romain Perrault back in the club, Kaleta, Bella Kocha, but a significant amount of what we do here in season 1 is going to be surrounding these loan players. I've been reading a whole bunch of forums with Southampton fans. As always, I've shortlisted just about everybody that's been rumored to join them, but there were a lot of rumors around the players that returned on loan and whether they will stay or go. The one that makes me the most upset is Carlos Alcaraz. He spent last year on loan at Juventus and people are saying that he is definitely gone. Same with Sulemana. He is rumored to be leaving the club, although I believe he wasn't even off on loan last year. And Kaleta, it looks like he's the most certain to leave. But then for players like Bella Kochap and also Perrault, there's rumors, people saying they're like 50% staying or going, so I'm probably going to keep them this year, try to win them back over. But it's time, let's get into the transfer business. First piece of business though with the Saints is to bring a new attacking midfielder in. Callum O'Hare is coming up to the Premier League from Coventry City. Funnily enough, he's been rumored with every promoted team so far, but from what I've been reading, he looks most likely to join Southampton. So that's what we're doing right now. But there are transfers that had to be made. Taylor Harwood-Bellis spent last year on loan at Southampton, was a key part in their promotion push. The fans want him back, and it looks like he's almost guaranteed to head back. So we're making that happen. And yeah, just like with Harwood-Bellis, where there's players we had to sign, Kaleta is someone we had to sell. We're selling the Croatian defender permanently to Eintracht Frankfurt. There are so many young players in this Southampton squad that I want to make them into superstars. The left winger, Samuel Edozie, heading back down to recently relegated Luton Town. Fresh off an incredible title-winning season with PSV, we're going to sign the Dutch defensive midfielder Yuri Schulten here, joining us for £19.5 million. Probably the biggest signing Southampton's expected to make this window. Sekou Mara also going back down to the Championship. He joins Burnley on loan for the year. And Samuel Amu Amayao is heading to Swansea on a 1 year loan. I am absolutely loving sending players back down to the Championship, signing players up from the Championship, and we sign another Championship player here, Jack Clark. He's ready to get to the big time. The Sunderland standout joins us for £12.5 million. The young right back Lewis Payne off on an American adventure. Nico Lawrence off to Turkey for the year as well. Been a while since we've been able to sell somebody permanently, but the Nigerian striker Onuachu is heading to the Belgian league. But every fiber in my career mode loving being hates this right now. Carlos Alcaraz, he was one of the most likely players to leave Southampton. We've sent him back to Italian football this year, not with Juventus, but with Inter Milan on a permanent deal. I just know this is going to come to haunt us, but rules are rules. It's a realistic rebuild. That is not a good start. Opening day of the Premier League season, I said I wanted to integrate Perrault back into the starting 11. He's done his LCL and he's going to be out for 3 months. 12 minutes into the season and he gets himself out for 3 months. Manning's going to have to step up now. But that is the opening transfer window here with Southampton in the books. We couldn't get a move over the line for Sulemana, so I'm going to use that as a little bit of an opening and I'm going to give him this right wing spot, this right midfield spot for the start of the season and see if he can rescue his way back into this side and mend the relationship with Southampton. But we're going to have to be on top of our game if we want to survive in the Premier League with the Saints. We need to work our absolute off to finish above the newly promoted sides in Ipswich and Leicester and hope that somebody else from the Premier League can fall down with them. As far as relegation battles go, this one is intense. It is an absolute logjam at the bottom of the Premier League table right now, fellas. We sit 15th on 16 points, but also sitting on 16 points is 19th placed Fulham, 18th Ipswich, 17th Wolves, and 16th Crystal Palace. So what I'm going to take from that is we have space to grow. If we can get ourselves nailed in here for the second half of the season, surely we should stay up. But man, this is terrifying. We're just got to convert those draws into wins. Where's Leicester? I mean, Leicester's not even in the relegation picture. So, all right, I'm going to do some work here in January. And unfortunately, Sulemana hasn't got a goal or an assist so far. Oh my God. Ross Stewart off the bench. I've had him as our bench striker, has got 17 goals. What the actual, is that a, what? He has scored basically all of our goals so far this season. Oh my God. What is going on with this team? All right, anyways, what I was trying to say is I'm going to go in for a new right midfielder. And the man we're going to bring in, I tried to go in for him in the summer window, but it fell apart. Finally get him on our second attempt. It is the Danish winger, Anders Dreyer. Been rumoured with a move to Southampton. He joins us from Anderlecht for £8.7 million. Ironically, our first Premier League game here in January is a relegation 6-pointer against Ipswich. So I'm going through the January window. I may as well show it to you guys. Dreyer's Premier League debut. Can we get a massive 3 points against Ipswich? No, we don't. It is a draw in a game that we probably should have won. Those are the type of results I fear that might cost us relegation. I tried to get a move over the line for Shea Charles in the summer window, but it didn't go through. We're here in January. We've made it happen. And the Northern Irish defensive midfielder is going to spend the next 2 years working on his craft in Turkey. Come on, fellas. We survived relegation. It ended up being somewhat decent here in the second half of the season. We finished 9 points clear of Nottingham Forest, who go down with Wolverhampton and Ipswich. So in our 3 realistic rebuilds, we have had an entire array of results in season 1. We got relegated with Ipswich. We almost got we got 7th with Leicester, and we get 16th with Southampton. Scrolling up the table, Leicester got 10. They're so good, man, in this game. Every realistic rebuild, whether I've controlled them or not, they've finished top 10 in their first year. But it is going to be Man City winning the Premier League just like real life. Arsenal take down Watford in the FA Cup final. Arsenal also win the Carabao Cup. Fair play. The Champions League. Oh, Arsenal lost the Champions League final. That's actually hilarious. Real Betis beat Liverpool to win the Europa League, and Season 1's Conference League doesn't go to Aston Villa, which is normally always the case. It goes to Club Brugge. I'm so confused how Ross Stewart did this well. 21 goals as our backup bench striker. Jack Clark with a great first year in the Premier League. Adams and Armstrong, it's probably what we expected. O'Hare, though, a little disappointing, but we're definitely going to have to build on this team in a lot of areas as we move forward with Southampton. But all that we cared about in this first season was Premier League survival. We've done that. Now let's build upon it. With Wolves getting relegated, that meant so many of their players were going to be available to pick up on a relatively decent price. Wanting to leave the club, we needed to sign ourselves a new left back. Perot, with his injury, just wasn't going to be the long-term option. So Ait Nouri, the Algerian left back, he wants to be back in the Premier League. He's going to be back in the Premier League. We sign him from Wolverhampton for a cut price deal of £24.5 million. Unfortunately, a lot of players from the squad last year would have been expecting to be starting players, ended up on the bench. They want out of the club, so I'm going to have to sell a few players that I didn't really want to. First of whom being Jan Bednarek, the Polish centre-back who was a crucial part of Southampton's promotion in real life, is heading to Fenerbahce. Sometimes in rebuilds, if a player submits a transfer request, I tend to ignore it, but given this is realistic, I tend to honour most transfer requests, as would happen in real life. First loan player of the year, Tyler Dibbling off to Romania. 2 loan moves coming up here for some of our young superstars. Sekou Mara, another year, another loan move for him. This year he's off to Portugal. And I'm happy we kind of rescued Sulemana wanting to leave permanently. I'm going to send him out on loan and see if we can turn him into a future superstar. I think it was incredibly evident last year we needed a striker who wasn't our backup striker to come in and just absolutely dominate. Armstrong and Adams had okay years, but if we want to go to the next level with Southampton, we need someone like a Gianluca Scamazza. There's also a personal involvement for him. Scamazza came out to West Ham United, out to the Premier League a few years ago. It didn't go to plan. He's got that fire burning. Gianluca Scamazza wants to prove to himself and the greater footballing world that he can get the job done in England. So I'm excited to give him that opportunity. I probably should have done this last year in hindsight. With the injury coming in, that was probably an omen that things just weren't going to work out and we probably should have divorced ourselves from Romain Perot. I hold nothing against him. I hope he holds nothing against us, but we're going to send him to Girona permanently. Another year, another batch of loans though. Samuel Edozie heading to Portugal, and Joe Aribo, one of the guys that wanted out as well. He's off to Braga for 3 mil. Southampton do have a great history of bringing in young players, developing young players, and turning them into superstars. So I want to try to keep that tradition alive. We're going to sign Jobe Bellingham here, a famous last name, but a player with so much untapped raw potential. I want to go about this the Southampton way. Grow Joe Bellingham Bellingham, and ultimately, as is tradition with Southampton's best young players, sell them on to Liverpool. Hey, don't blame me, guys. Gotta keep it realistic, you know? I will not be doing that, though. I'm ending that tradition. Again, another loan move here for Samuel Amayol, heading to West Brom. But it is time for us to say goodbye to Che Adams. Che Adams is heading back down to the Championship, joining recently relegated Nottingham Forest on their fight back up to the big leagues. And on the very same day, we're going to pick ourselves up a new right back here. The Irishman, Festi Ebosele, has been rumoured with a move to Southampton, and it wouldn't be a bad shout for us to try thinking about an eventual succession plan to Kyle Walker-Peters. So we're going to sign Ebosele here. And again, just like Bellingham, I'm going to look to get a loan move for him, which we've done successfully here for Joe Bellingham. He's heading to Braga on a 2-year loan. And now finally also done for Festi Ebosele. Just a 1-year move for him as he goes to the Portuguese giants Benfica. My God though, fellas, that was a busy transfer window. A lot of business done, but this is the side we are rolling into season 2 with. Big seasons for a lot of players. I'm not afraid to make upgrades where necessary because I want us to grow in this rebuild. Huge pressure though for Scamazza to hit the ground running. We've put a lot of faith into him, invested a lot of money into him. I'm hoping he repays the faith. And most importantly, I'm hoping we don't fall victim to second season syndrome. I do not want us to get complacent. Okay, not great, not panic stations. We're sitting 14th here on the 1st of January, 21 points. Hull City though, I mean, all the teams below us have a game in hand on us except for Norwich. So we could easily drop down into the relegation zone here. Our goal difference isn't incredible either. So I think we're going to have to work on the defense, to be honest, because we're scoring goals, it looks like, but we are conceding a boatload of them. Oh my, look how close this is though. We win a game and we could go up to 9th position. We lose a game, we could go down to 18. All right, I'm glad I scrolled up the table. This is an absolute logjam. Half the table is still in the relegation battle. My honest thinking is we need somebody to come in that's a little bit older. Someone that I don't expect to be in our Champions League winning squad, but someone who can settle things down, provide experience in the back line. Because right now, you've got what, 23-year-old, 22-year-old, 22-year-old, and a 22-year-old. Kyle Walker-Peters, of course, 27 years of age. But I'm talking a proper veteran that we can get on a decent price. I'm going to throw Bella Kotchap on the loan list, try getting him some more game time and growth somewhere else. But the man I've identified to bring in, don't give me crap, lads. I think this is a great pickup. Harry Maguire. We get him really close to his base level value. He's 80 rated. He becomes one of our higher rated players, and he's going to shore things up in the back line for the second half of the season. His experience, his leadership, and his ability is unquestionable. Harry Maguire, welcome to Southampton. Oh no, fellas, it's starting. Liverpool have come in for Jack Clark here. I should almost be accepting this one out of principle on realism, but I'm rejecting it. And we got Bella Kotchap's loan deal over the line. He's going to be heading to Monaco for the next 2 years, but if I have to recall him early, I will recall him early. Not gonna lie, this January window could make or break us. I've put our nuts on the line for this, and I'm hoping we are proven right come the end of season 2. And judging by this at the end of the season, I think we made the right decision. We finish 12th here in the Premier League. The goal difference has it's come down by 3, so I'm taking that as a win, but 49 points. We were so close though to some sort of European qualification, and thankfully pretty damn far away from the relegation zone. Brentford, Hull, and Norwich. We might be able to feed on the carcass of Brentford scraps next season, which gets me excited. Top of the table though in the Premier League sees Man City with another title. Arsenal win another FA Cup. We lose the Carabao Cup final to Liverpool. That hurts, man. 2-1 loss to Liverpool. We could have been playing Conference League football next year. Are you kidding me? We beat Man United in the semis, Swansea in the quarters, Brentford. My God, man, that would have been incredible if we won the Carabao Cup in our second season. Man City are just dominating, man. Marseille win the Europa League, and season 2's Conference League goes to Lazio. Ross Stewart gets 27 goals, up to a 75 overall. What is this dude on? All right, next year, Adam Armstrong. I'm going to have to get rid of Adam Armstrong probably, or maybe move him into a backup striker role. Although, maybe I capitalize on Ross Stewart being hot property, sell both of them and get a really good partner next to Scamazza, because he's had a great year. 22 goal contributions for him. 22 as well for Anders Dreyer. That's awesome to see. Callum O'Hare with no growth again. Man, we're going to have some massive questions to answer next year. How'd the loan... Mara's coming. We've got 3 strikers here that are 75 overall. Maybe maybe I give the keys to Mara and focus on other positions next year. Dibbling up to a 62, Amo Imayu up to a 68, Adozie up to a 71, 75 there, Job up to a 71. There's good growth all around. Charles to a 72, but we're going to have to just take things up a notch next season. Although Bella Kotchap hits a 79, which is great growth in the second half of the year. A lot of questions that we need to answer moving into season 3 though. We could do some big business, but I'll see you guys in season 3, probably looking a little bit better. I'm going to go get a haircut, take a break, and really think out the next move. All right, I'm back, fellas. I've been doing my thinking. I've taken my time. And for the striker role, I have decided to give Mara the starting spot for the season. Half of Southampton's policy and their history is giving young kids a chance and taking them to the next level. So I'm going to give Mara this season. This is a do or die season for the Frenchman. He's going to be up top with Scamatza. So for me, investing at the attacking midfielder role became priority number 1. Gabriel Sara from Norwich City. They're yo-yoing between the divisions in this video. Relegated from the Premier League. We pick him up on an absolute bargain here. £1.4 million less than his market value. 26 years of age, 81 overall. He's a welcomed addition to this Southampton squad. Loan move here though for Jaden Mahoma, the left back, off to Oviedo for 2 years. Lewis Payne, another loan move for him. But what to do next with the starting 11 has been weighing on my mind. We obviously could go for a striker. We could go and get a young centre back, but I'm still happy with Harry Maguire in the back line there with Hardwood Bellis, at least for this year. We could upgrade at the right back role, but I'm happy with how Walker Peters is holding on, and honestly, Eboselli's the incumbent there. I'm pretty set on him. So what I've decided to do is to sell Anders Dreyer. He's been in decent form. I want to cash in on that, and I want to get a right midfielder for the future. The Danish winger heading to Crystal Palace for 18 mil. But we do get Ebosele, another loan move this year, off to Betis for the year. I'm really hoping when he comes back next season, he's ready to take that starting right back spot. Suleimana, I've converted him to a right winger, and I'm going to send him on loan to Montpellier. It is time for us to go in for a new right midfielder. Got a little more cash here now, so we are well prepared. Adam Armstrong, saying goodbye to him, sending him further north up to Everton. Now, I cannot lie, lads. When I saw this transfer rumor, I thought I was reading incorrectly, but we're going to sign someone who's been rumored with a move to Southampton last year, this year in real life, and now in this career mode, 3 years in, it is Sul joining us here. The former Juventus and Frosinone man is joining us from AS Monaco for a club record transfer fee of £42 million. That is a massive transfer window, the done and dusted. So many questions coming into this year though. We need Sara and Sul to absolutely crush it. We need Mara to have a great year. If he doesn't, we'll probably look to upgrade the striker next year. So a huge opportunity for him. But a lot of the questions I have for this year and goals for this year revolve around the players we have off on loan. Bella Kotchap, he's still at Monaco. Hopefully he can grow and get recalled. Ebosele needs a massive year if he wants to take the starting right back spot next year from Kyle Walker-Peters. And how will the continued growth of Job Bellingham progress? Let's find out. Let's get to January and see if we can make a push into the top half of the Premier League table. We are sitting 7th right now in the Premier League. We are pushing for some sort of European football. I would love to get in the Champions League in season 4, but if we end up in the Europa League, even the Conference League, that would be an awesome stepping stone. But we need to put faith in what we've had so far. Hopefully the lads can push on in this second half of the season. And trusting the team we have has gotten us 7th placed here in the Premier League, which I believe, depending on other results, means we're going to be in the the Conference League next year. But that is definitely surpassing the expectations we had. I just wanted top half of the table finish, and we've done that comfortably. 3 Premier Leagues in a row though for Man City, and relegated will be Wolves again, along with Everton and Crystal Palace. But we win the FA Cup this year. Come on, Southampton. So that means we are going to be in the Europa League in season number 4. You love to see it. Took down Tottenham in the final, Manchester United in the semis, Sheffield United quarterfinals. That's an awesome run. Man City do win the Carabao Cup this year. We did not go on a run there. Borussia Dortmund win a Die Klassiker against Bayern Munich here in the Champions League final. Leipzig win the Europa League. I'm genuinely so curious to see how we go there next year. And Celtic win the all-green Conference League final. Green and white Celtic taking down green and white Wolfsburg in a cup with a green and black color scheme. Skamatsa, that is a huge season from you, my man. 23 goals, 12 assists, 35 goal contributions for the Italian. And what a way to start life at Southampton for Sewell, up to an 83. He bags himself 27 goal contributions. We just can't stop Ross Stewart from bagging goals. 12 goals off the bench. Sara there in his first year, 7 and 6, but not a great year here for Sekou Mara. Missed out on a lot of appearances due to injury and Stewart just being better, to be honest. But yeah, I think he might move into a backup striker role next year. Might have to sell Ross Stewart so that whoever we sign at striker actually gets game time. No growth for Sulemana, so I'm probably going to bring him back next year as a backup right winger. No growth for Jaden Mahoma, so I'll probably look to sell him on. Bella Kotchap up to an 81 overall. How did... Oh my god, Ebasele only up to a 76. So I'm probably going to have to go for an out-and-out better right back as well. Mate, we have not had a good year with our loaned out players getting growth. Bellingham up to a 73. I'd hope for more all around the board. But as season number 3 winds down, we are going to be saying goodbye to a veteran of English football, Alex McCarthy, who is retiring. Europa League bound in season number 4 with the Saints. Let's see if the Saints can go marching in. I mean, I have a soft spot for the Saints, given the fact that my NRL team are also called the Saints. If you know, you know. Oh, and the Saints. 2 things have just worked in our favor. Number 1, we need a new striker. And number 2, most importantly, Wolves are now a yo-yo club. Relegated to the championship once again. We're going to sign their star striker, Matthias Cunha, is going to join us here at St. Mary's. We get him on a cut price deal of £28 million. He's going to partner up top with Skamatsa. And I think these two are going to do damage together. Someone that will not be here to watch that damage unfold, though, is Ryan Manning. The Irish left back takes his talents to Stuttgart. This was a tough one, though, because I didn't want to necessarily sell him. I had plans on Ebasele being the man to take over Walker Peters, but it's not going to be that way. We need a star right back now, and I'm not prepared to sell Kyle Walker Peters. I want to keep him in the squad. So we're going to sell Ebasele to Crystal Palace and get £20 million back. That's decent. And on the very same day, we say goodbye to the super sub of all super subs, Ross Stewart. I didn't expect you to become a hero, but an unlikely hero you were. We've cashed in on the Scotsman and sold him to Wolves. Best of luck, mate. You carried us, I'm not gonna lie. We're also saying goodbye to Darnell Simiu, who heads to Preston for just shy of £1 million. Speaking of $1 million, we're about 500,000 subscribers away from hitting 1 million, so help us get there eventually. Scorpion, kick the subscribe button if you enjoy the content. Coming into making this video, I knew that this was a transfer I wanted to make at some point. Tino Livramento, former Southampton player. He was sold to Newcastle United from Southampton, I believe at the start of this year in real life, but 4 years down the line, I'm bringing him back to St. Mary's. He's going to finish his career and peak at his career at his second stop after Chelsea. Tino Livramento, welcome back to Southampton. Another loan move here, though, for Job Bellingham, progressing nicely, but we want to get him higher up. We're sending him to Girona. And the same thing here with Samuel Amo-Omiyu. I feel like I've pronunciated his name 3 different ways today, but the English winger is heading to Inter Miami for the next 2 years. Another player that we're going to bring back to the club, though, ahead of the season is Bella Kotchap. I'm going to recall him early from his loan here at AS Monaco, 81 overall. He jumps right back into the starting 11. I'm going to renegotiate Harry Maguire's contract because I really want to keep him in the squad, but as a backup option. We're going to stop throughout the transfer window here, though, because we have got an opportunity at some early season silverware. The FA Community Shield at Wembley Stadium, taking on Man City. This would be an awesome start to season 4, which it is. We beat City. We got dominated. We got dominated by City, but it doesn't matter because we're going to win on a penalty shootout. They equalized in the 87th minute. My God, they left it late, but we win the Community Shield. I'm excited for this year, though, fellas. I'm really excited. I'm also curious. Has Bella Kotchap matured and become a better player after his 2 years or year and a half at Monaco? I'm really hoping so. I'm hoping we've found a winning formula here and that this team can push us into Champions League qualification and hopefully also push us into Europa League glory. Our group, it's balanced, but it's a group we should be getting out of, in my opinion. I'll see you guys on the 1st of January. All right, we are in the thick of qualification for European football, but as seems to be the trend in this video, there are so many teams pushing for the same thing. Right now, we're in the money spots. Right now, we're in the top 4, but we've got Arsenal 1 point behind us, and a loss could send us down to 9th place. A string of bad form could send us down to where Liverpool are right now, 13th position. So we need to kick on and set our sights on top of the table West Ham instead of the mid-table teams. I cannot get the formula right with Bella Kotchap. I think it's the same thing with Perot that I said earlier. We should have just divorced ourselves from him from day one. He has submitted a transfer request. I'm playing him in every game. That's not an issue, but the German centre-back wants out. So I think we're going to spend the January window focused on a centre-back. If we get rid of him, we can't get anyone else in. At least we know Harry Maguire is still here as a bit of insurance. And there it is, fellas. Bella Kotchap out of the club and officially an Arsenal player. We get £27 million back for the German defender. That was doomed from day one. And with this, I am praying that we've found our answer in the back line. Riccardo Calafiori. This dude might be the most handsome man I have ever seen in my life, but the Italian centre-back is going to join a long lineage of great Italians to play at Southampton. £37.1 million to bring him across from Mainz. And I think I might be in love. We held on, fellas. Come on. In season number 5, the Saints are heading to Europe's biggest tournament, the Champions League. How we're going to go, I have no idea, but we end up finishing 6 points off the title, which is actually impressive. It was a relatively low scoring point season overall, but we edge out Chelsea. We're in the top 4. Relegation zone, Liverpool ended up getting up to 8th, United in 11th, but West Brom, Bristol and Watford go down. Of course, we did win the Community Shield at the start of the season. Crystal Palace win the FA Cup. Newcastle United the Carabao Cup. The Champions League this year goes once again to Manchester City. Well, I actually forgot to update you guys in January how we were going in the Europa League. We got out of our group, which was good, but can we go on a run in the Europa League? So we skip the prelims. Round of 16, we go out to Arsenal. That is anticlimactic. Arsenal don't even go all the way. It's Sevilla who end up winning the Europa League. And PSV are going to win the Conference League. Big year though. Big first year for Cunha. Bags himself 16 goals. A little disappointed though. Scamatza only with 9 goals this year. Both Sewell and Clark finish ahead of him in the goal scoring list. So I want him to pick that up next year. Although, of course, Mara scores more goals when I have him as a backup. I feel like in this video, whoever our backup striker is going to be the best striker. We are going to be saying goodbye to a whole bunch of players though. Stuart Armstrong is retiring. Derek Abu, Juan Larios, and Cam Bragg are all going to be released into free agency. But we need to turn all our attention to a Champions League run in Season 5. Let's crack on and see how we go. I'm sure a lot of us saw the footage of Aaron Ramsdale in the crowd at the Championship Playoff Final, dressed up in disguise as a wizard, sitting with the Southampton fans. Of course, Ramsdale started off his early stages of his career on the South Coast with Bournemouth, but he's got that connection with Southampton. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he went to Southampton next season, but in this save, Bazunu has stalled, sitting at an 80, hasn't grown for a hot minute now. Aaron Ramsdale is the next step, and we got him on a pretty cheap deal, £28.5 million. This is a no-brainer for us to give us every advantage possible heading into this Champions League campaign. But it is time for us to say goodbye to Yurdi Shelton. He couldn't resist the bright lights of PSG, and I couldn't resist £37.5 million for somebody that's probably not going to grow anymore in this rebuild. So we say goodbye, but thank you for a great tenure. And with the defensive midfield role open, we lure another player that has spent significant playing time on the south coast of England, Moises Caicedo. He spent a few years at Brighton a few years before this, but with Chelsea missing out on Champions League football in this save, it's only natural that he wants to come to a club that has Champions League football, and it's a familiar territory for him. Moises Caicedo, welcome to Southampton. Norwich's relegation gives us an opportunity to pick up one of their star players and bring him back to the Premier League. Christos Zolos, the Greek midfielder, joining us on a permanent transfer from the Canaries. This is such a good backup option to Jack Clark. I'm feeling so good ahead of this Champions League campaign. We've got a thick team. I'll show you guys it in a second. There's one more bit of business I want to do though. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is to sell one of our first signings in this realistic Southampton rebuild, Callum O'Hare. Not gonna lie, super disappointing signing. Super disappointed in how he's gone here, but we're now selling him permanently to Everton. This season could bring anything, genuinely anything. We have an insane starting 11. Our bench is so solid, and like we've got reserves. We've got great quality coming up. Still a young core. Man, what does season 5 in the Champions League with Southampton have in store? We're about to find out. But our first Champions League group has been revealed. This is not an easy path to the knockout rounds. Frankfurt, Villarreal, Feyenoord. All super impressive teams in their own right. So we're going to have to be focused, locked on, and really battling adversity if we want to get to these knockout rounds. Top of the group, come on Southampton. Oh, and the Saints go marching in. Oh, and the Saints go marching in. I can't get too cocky though. I can't be singing too many tunes because we finished top of our Europa League group last year and ended up getting knocked out in the round of 16. So, round of 16, we have AS Monaco. Interesting matchup. Definitely bigger clubs we could have faced, but they have a good young core in career mode, so we cannot take them lightly. Regardless of how we go in the Champions League this year, we have to be focused on getting ourselves back to the Champions League. Honestly, I want us to be focused on trying to win a Premier League title this year. Currently 4 points off the top. That's a great start. But again, I feel like every year this career mode, this video, there has been so many teams in contention. Here we go, fellas. Champions League knockout rounds. Round of 16, we take a trip to the municipality of Monaco. The kings and princes all watching us as we face Monaco. In the first leg, we come back to the south of England with a 2-1 lead, but we're going to be without our left back, Aït-Nouri, who gets a red card there and is subsequently going to be suspended for the second leg. Kyle Walker-Peters in for the second leg here at left back. We've got the lead, but this is not comfortable yet. Just get the job done, fellas. Get it done cleanly as well. Get us to the quarters. We're through to the quarters. Cunha with a yellow. I'm hoping that's not going to cost us, but regardless, we are into the Champions League quarters, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And yep. Cunha's out for the quarterfinals. Good stuff, mate. Great stuff getting a yellow. Didn't stuff us up or anything. We've got Manchester City in the quarterfinals. Manchester City, Lord, give me strength. If Southampton is considered a religious club or a saintly club, then I'm hoping that the Saints and the gods are on our side right now. First leg at home at St. Mary's, and we take the lead. Oh yeah. Cunha, you can sit on the bench, brother. Mara's just gone and scored us a brace. Let's go. Sekou Mara stepping up when we need him to. That's what we need. Sekou Mara masterclass. Cunha back in here. Again, it's a 2-1 lead we take into the second leg, but this time we are on the road at the Etihad. We need to stay focused here because City could do anything. This for a Final Four spot. Holy 3-0. Cunha took it personally how much love I was giving to Mara. He bags himself a brace, and all of a sudden I've gone from thinking we might be a good team to now having full confidence in us as we've taken down Manchester City 5-1 on aggregate. That is crazy. And with that, Inter Milan stand between us and a spot in a Champions League final against either Borussia Dortmund or AC Milan. We're looking to hit the trifecta of first leg 2-1 wins in this season. If we could do that at home here, that would be a great start to the semi-finals. The scoreline, it is a 1-goal lead nonetheless, but it is 1-0 Caicedo in the 88th minute, but Sarah has picked up a knock there in the 44th minute. Joe Bellingham coming on for him, and I'm interested to see what the prognosis is. It's not looking great. It looks like Sarah's going to be out for the second leg, 3 weeks with a pulled groin. So it is a big test for Jobe Bellingham. He comes in to the starting 11 with the biggest game, I would say, in Southampton club history. I think that's a fair comment. It's a 1-0 lead to hold on to book us a spot in a Champions League final. Can the Saints get there? We get there in style. We win 2-0. A donut against a very good Inter Milan side. Moises Caicedo and Calafiori. Goals coming from unusual suspects. And we have booked ourselves a Champions League final spot here in season number 5. And it looks like we're going to be versing Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League final. Taking a look around the grounds, it is Real Madrid winning the Europa League. Quite ironic that Real Madrid's in the Europa League this year and then Dortmund are in the Champions League, given they play each other in the Champions League final in real life. Malmo win the Conference League. We win the Premier League title with Southampton. That is such a low scoring season, but look at the points. Manchester United, 8 points behind us in 7th, but Leeds, there was a 5-point difference between 1st and 6th. That is crazy. Regardless, though, we've won the Premier League title. We're in the Champions League next year. Come on, Southampton. Who went down here in the Prem? Arsenal 10th, Villa 15th, Palace, Fulham, Bournemouth go down. We've also won the FA Cup. That is the domestic double, meaning if we beat Dortmund today, we do the treble. I was hoping I was going to load up the Carabao Cup screen and see that we'd done the domestic treble and that we were going for the quad, but that goes to Brighton. We did not even come close. What a massive season from our strikers, Cunha and Skamazza, both getting like 27 and 24 is crazy. Saul's now 90 rated. Mara off the bench, man. We have had a great year, and I cannot wait to see if we can wrap it all up. The Champions League final against Borussia Dortmund. Bring it on. I'm amped up, lads. We take this trip to Madrid, two of the more likable clubs in world football, Dortmund and Southampton, at least in my opinion, but one of them, and I'm hoping it's the Red team. The team in red are going to win a Champions League final tonight. Corner though for Borussia Dortmund, ball in, Ramsdale easy. They've just done Anderson Talisca of all players. I haven't heard that name in eons. What is he doing here? What is a polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas? We need to get something going here. It's a good little 1-2 there. Clark's in space, but there's a lot of yellow jerseys around. I'm just taking this one to the touchline. The pace is crazy. The ball also crazy, but we hit it straight into traffic. Konate, what's the center back doing up there? Holding it up. Nice little drag back there. He's going to go to Sarah. Trying to find the right move. Skamazza. Good ball. The left back. I'm just going for it with Ait Nouri. Ait Nouri's going to score it. That is patient. I can't say it's deserved, but we have got ourselves an equalizer here on the hour mark in the Champions League final. And it is our left back, Ait Nouri. An unlikely source, but I'll take it. So we've got some space here. Feed it under. Feed it under. Sarah. Oh, straight at Colbell. I should have taken a touch. Come on, can we do it in crazy scenes right now? Sarah. I'm just going to put this one back post. It's a good ball. Across. Oh, no, he's offside, Jared. I do not like this, lads. This is the last kick of the Champions League final in regular time. And Dortmund have a corner. They've done terribly on all their corners today. Don't start doing well now. Clark gets there. Just get it away. Just clear it. There it is. We clear it. But we are off to extra time. And I don't know how we're still in this. Palacios on the attack here for Dortmund. Do not give him any good shooting angles. No good shooting angles. Do not lunge in and give them a penalty. Good block. We've done a really good job of suffocating Borussia Dortmund in the box here. Get that one away, Brandt. Yes, good stuff, Ait Nouri. Come on, win it in the 120th. Tip it over. Oh my God, we've been so bad offensively at times. I hate it, but I'm actually surprised we're at this point. We have a lifeline. Penalties. Can we have a smash and grab here against Dortmund? We're starting off here. Cunha. Put this one top left corner, Jared. Top left corner. We send Colbert the wrong way. Haya against Ramsdale. He's going to hit that one. Oh, what a save off the feet of Ramsdale. Ramsdale. So I'm going straight up the middle. I'm going straight up the... Jared, why would I go up the middle? Go right. Go right. You're an idiot. He dinks it. Oh, that saves us. Clark. I'm going right. Clark. Come on. Advantage. Southampton. Palacios. Where's he going to go? He's going to dink us. Bloody hell. They score their first penalty. I'm going left here. I'm going left. Skamazza against Colbell, who saves it. Oh my God. They're about to take it. Go left. No. Why do they keep dinking us? We need to score this right now with Sarah. I'm going to go top right. I'm going top right. Sarah, top right, and Colbell saves it. Oh my God. All right, all about. This is for the game. This is for the Champions League. Save it, Ramsdale. Save it, Ramsdale. Goes left. Oh my God. It goes under Aaron Ramsdale. It goes under Aaron Ramsdale. No way. We guessed the right way, and it goes under Aaron Ramsdale. He made an insane save with his feet earlier, but can't get to that one. And we're going to lose the Champions League final on penalties. Mate, that is actually so brutal. I mean, I've got to say it. Dortmund were the better team tonight, but to lose it in that fashion after parking the bus for so long hurts the soul. I don't lose Champions League finals all that often, but when I do, they absolutely sting. We're going to regroup and go again in Season 6 with Southampton. Two massive deals that we need to get done this window. The first and the most important was to sign a star Thiago Almada, the center attacking midfielder, still applying his trade in the MLS at Atlanta United. He needs the move to the Premier League, or at least a top 5 league. We need a new attacking threat because, to be totally honest, we had nothing offensively in that Champions League final. Every time I gave Sarah the ball, he just lost it or put it in terrible positions and just didn't feel like that guy. So we're going to break our club record transfer to sign Thiago Almada from Atlanta United. And with the retirement of Harry Maguire, we needed to fill the backup centre-back role. So Fulham got relegated in this season. We're going to sign Tosin Adarabioyo. He's 81 overall, 30 years of age, can be a really solid backup centre-back for us and fill the massive boots that Harry Maguire leaves behind. I was also debating going in for Anderson Talisca, given how much he cooked us in the final last year, and I feel even more embarrassed now. We got cooked by a 75 rated player. Anderson Talisca was the best player on the field for Borussia Dortmund. He's a senior citizen who's 75 rated. That's a wake-up call. But we had a near perfect season last year. A Champions League title would have been the cherry on top. We were out on penalties, man. That just shows how close we were. Also, Ramsdale's only out with concussions, so he'll be back like literally this weekend. But we've only made improvements this year. Sarah moves to the bench, Almada into the starting attacking midfield role, and Tosin Adarabioyo into the centre-back role. Our squad still has room to improve, still has time on their side, and I'm hoping that's going to make us even more of a threat. I want everything this year. I want a back-to-back FA Cups. I want back-to-back Community Shields. I want back-to-back Premier League titles, and most importantly, I want back-to-back Champions League final appearances, with this year us going further. But we are in Group G of the Champions League this year, and I would say, despite winning the Premier League, our group is harder this year. RB Leipzig, Sporting, and Feyenoord. That ain't a walk in the park. That is not a walk in the park at all. But if we consider ourselves title challengers, then we should still be getting the job done here. Let's simulate and see how we go in Season 6's Champions League. All right, yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty comforting. Undefeated in the group stages, top of the lot, 7 points clear of Leipzig. We're back to the round of 16, and I'm hoping I don't press R1 right now and see a Real Madrid or Man City. We've got a Sociedad, which you would be happy about at first, but then you realize Sociedad have a pretty insane team on career mode most of the time, so I'm hoping they've sold the likes of Kubo. But we are once again in the title race, just 2 losses all season. It's a tight one, but we've got a little bit of a buffer between ourselves and 5th place Arsenal. I want that title though. I want back-to-back titles. West Ham currently 1 point ahead of us. Gonna make a signing here though in January. We saw how card happy our team was last year, so I'm gonna sign a backup left back here. An investment in the future as well, as we sign Adam Lambert, not the musician, not the dude from American Idol, but Adam Lambert is gonna join us for £18 million from Everton. We're on the road here, fellas, for the first leg. Anything but a Champions League title this year is a complete and utter failure, and it all starts now at the Real Arena in Sociedad in Spain, and with a 2-2 draw. Some of the names I see there though, that just proves how good of a team they had. Kubo scores the equalizer, Martinelli, Simakan on the defense, Lozano coming off the bench. Real Sociedad have a good side. We need to be locked in for this second leg back at St. Mary's. All right, here we go. It would be honestly resignation territory if we went out in the round of 16 this year at St. Mary's for a spot back in the quarters. We get there. Thiago Almada, the man we signed in the summer, bags a brace, and he is our savior. We're heading to the quarterfinals. And in the quarterfinals, a massive challenge. Germany's Invincibles, Bayer Leverkusen. I mean, looking at this, as it should be, there is no easy opponents remaining. I don't want to draw here in the first leg. I want us to get back to winning the first legs 2-1, or just winning in general. Can we get a big result here against Leverkusen? We're at St. Mary's to start it off, which hasn't happened for a while. And we get back to the 2-1 wins. We spoke it into existence, but we get so many yellows in the process. Thankfully, nobody got suspended. We've got a full strength squad here to take on Leverkusen, but we're going to be walking on eggshells for the remainder of the season, hoping that nobody gets suspended. For the moment, let's just hope the season actually continues. We're away at the Bayer Arena in Leverkusen, 2-1 up, and we hold on without any yellow cards. Come on, lads. Clark is going to secure our entrance into the semi-finals for a second straight year. Well, hello, Manchester City. City. We meet again. Man City were probably begging for this. They probably wanted us in the semi-finals, given how poorly we humiliated them last season. 5-1 on aggregate, was it last year? Can we duplicate that this year? First leg at home at St. Mary's, and we get a 1-0 lead. It could have been 2 though, but Almada misses his pen. Regardless though, we're heading north to Manchester with a 1-goal advantage. But we're gonna have to do it without Cunha for the second leg. It's okay, we've done it already once in this rebuild. Cunha suspended though. Sekou Mara, you were an absolute god amongst men last year. Can you keep it moving? We are away from home with a 1-goal advantage, trying to get back to the Champions League final. We win it on pens. Oh my God, Job Bellingham wins it on pens. We lose 3-2. Mara in the 89th minute sent it to extra time. Clark with a yellow, which might mean his suspension, but we are heading back to the Champions League final in extraordinary circumstances. We're back in the final. This year, we verse Juventus in the Champions League final. Can we take them down and get Southampton that elusive Champions League title? Taking a look around the grounds, Eintracht Frankfurt with a massive win over Barcelona. What is with all the big clubs in the conference league, in the finals of other major European tournaments? Call me Drake the way I'm going back to back. 4 losses all year, 5 points clear of Tottenham, and Southampton are now 2-time Premier League champs. Relegation zone moving into season 7. We'll see Burnley, Sheffield United, and West Brom going down. We get another Community Shield as well, though, 2-1 over Chelsea. Liverpool win the FA Cup. We made it to the quarterfinals. And Arsenal win a North London derby to win the Carabao Cup. I'm so ready for this Champions League final, though, lads. We've had another year to get used to this team, work out where we fell down last year, and Thiago Almada, what an inclusion he was in this side. Hit the ground running, and I'm hoping he can be the key difference maker in this Champions League final. Bring it on, Juve. Bring it on. Playing in Juve's home country. We're in Italy. It's a big disadvantage, but I don't care, lads. This is our time. This is our moment. Let's make Southampton champions of Europe once and for all. Go in there. Skamazza, a bit of space. Skamazza forces an early save. Clark, nice ball there to Cunha. Cunha's going to go early there. Skamazza scores! I don't know if you call it Skamazza or Skamaka, but I don't care because he's just giving us the lead in an all-for-out opening 15 minutes, man. We look so much better already in this final. I felt like last year we were playing scared for half the game. Now we're dictating the tempo. Trying to unlock something here. Do we have time for a second goal before half-time? We're going to get another corner. Get that away. Gyökeres is scaring me, man. He just pops up out of nowhere. All right, Nori, I see Skamazza, but there's not really the opportunity right now. We're just going to use the pace, float it in, get a follow-up. That's a great ball. Almada just didn't fall to him at the right spot. Still on, though. Ball out. First time cross, back post. Skamazza can't get it back in. Valverde, long shot, good save, Ramsdale. If we can see that in the 89th minute, I would have cried. Keeper is up, though. Keeper is up. 1 minute of stoppage time. Get it away. Get it away. Get it away. At the back post, clear it. Oh my God, what a save. I thought we were going to concede for all money. It's not easy, but we have won a Champions League title here with Southampton. What an insane journey. But the Saints, we've lost the Champions League final on the way. We've become the best team in English football, but we've finally won Europe's biggest trophy. And it is only right that Taylor Harwood Bellis, a man that was in the promoted side and has come back on a permanent transfer, is the man to lift the Champions League title with the Saints. Lads, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you click here to subscribe and click here to check out the 2 other realistic rebuilds I've done.